So just know that. Okay. We're good to go.
I'm
It's
kind of feeling the Pippi Longstocking thing.
Pippi Longstocking.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
but you know how guys describe stuff.
This is my 13-year-old hairstyle, though, you know.
I'm sorry.
We were just kids,
I'm
right?
sorry. But I'm feeling it, though. Really, really, I mean that.
It's in the growing stage, so, I'm trying to figure it out. But we have a great conversation tonight.
Yes.
I mean, for real. Like, if you all heard the live that Kim just did to tell you that we were about to go live, you know what it's about. But we want to talk about why don't people...
I'm sorry, I was drinking too fast.
Like we do. Hold your
and I'm like beating my back doesn't really help. Go ahead.
When a relationship is over, why don't people close the doors? Why don't people just simply say it's over and move on? Why are people lingering and holding on to people instead of just moving forward? Starting new relationships without closing doors. Why, people? Why? Well, I got a reason.
Okay,
why.
so let me just. I know.
I was trying to let y'all go. Okay.
I got a reason why.
Yeah, go ahead.
I believe that, it's probably a myriad of reasons, but my top two would be A, somebody or both people are still in love, right? They're still holding the torch. They haven't had time enough to process the breakup, and that relationship probably fulfilled something, served something in them that they are not ready to relinquish. So I think that's a part of the reason why people will just leave the door open, go back in the door. They just are not ready. They haven't had a chance to wean themselves off the relationship, off the person. The other top reason that I feel like is because people are operating in a space of uncertainty and fear. Fear that the grass is not greener on the other side.
The grass is not greener?
The grass is not greener on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you're saying.
So they're fearful. They're uncertain about that. And I feel like they want to know for sure, which they'll never know, if they're going to find a relationship that's better or at least comparable to what they had. So they're just unwilling to let that person really go.
Right.
So, in a matter of speaking comfortability, you are conditioned or you
No, I said fear and uncertainty.
Okay.
I'll be changing my adjectives, right?
I heard about this word called paraphrase and I was trying to do it.
No.
Okay.
Wrong one.
So it's been my experience. I know someone who doesn't close doors, and I think he does it because he is not just always looking for something better. I think it's to feed his own ego. I think he starts relationships, and in his mind he may be like, I'm done with Susie, but I'm gonna date Jackie, and I'm really into Jackie, but I still want to talk to Susie because Susie adores me, and I feed off of that energy that she gives me. It makes me feel good, and I don't want to let that go. So Susie is kind of hanging on, thinking that maybe we'll work things out. Yeah,
We're gonna
really,
work it out.
Poor Susie.
right. But really, he's thinking, not a chance in hell with you, Missy. But I like what you give to my ego. You make me feel good because I like the way you look at me. I like what you do for me. Things like that. And sometimes, and I don't know if this is true with a lot of people, but I've seen two people do this. That they're sleeping with multiple people, but really they only want the one. But the other person provides things that they aren't ready to let go of.
So like girlfriend by committee.
What?
Girlfriend by committee. You have one person that does this or this person does that, and all together they add up to one good woman. But instead of investing in one person,
I don't know if I.
Yeah, I
mean,
don't know.
that could be for some people, but more times than not, I think it's somebody who just
ego.
needs more
it's
and
ego.
a lot.
And then in that case, I think that person usually will be alone for a long time because no one person will ever satisfy or satiate all of their needs. They'll
And
just be
eventually,
alone. Yeah.
they're gonna like be revealed. I mean, the phone is gonna ring in the middle of the night, and before you know it, the truth comes out. You know, who is this person? Why are you still communicating with that
Right.
person? You can't keep living life in the dark and expect never to be
Right.
exposed.
And I'm not saying that you can't be friends with exes, because
But
I
you have to
think,
move on.
yeah, I think that if you are friends with your ex, and I know this isn't a conversation about exes, but if you're friends with your ex, then you both have to agree that it's platonic, or you both, even if you haven't even said it, you both have to know where neither one of us are truly interested at all. So, like my ex-husband and I, we are, neither one of us are interested romantically. We co-parent, we talk, we tee-hee, because we kind of grew up together, and that's it. You know, we'll talk about his girlfriend, blah blah blah. That's it. There's nothing there. But if if neither one of us are leaving a door open or a window, or nobody is hoping like maybe we'll get back together, but some people really feed off that energy, and I swear I know two people who do that.
What about you? What do you think?
First, I want to turn my phone off. That would help.
Mr. Popular.
Yeah, that would.
Oh, it's the sister.
It
Hey,
is.
Marla.
Hey, Marla.
I'm trying to like turn it off.
Clearly, she's not watching the show.
Right?
She's
Okay.
calling him.
I'm like the nerve.
Oh no, she can't log on. That's what it is.
So, first, I want to point out something. The grass is always green on the other side. It absolutely always is. But it's with a caveat, because the water bill is higher.
Lord have mercy.
He
These
always got some little
metaphors.
saying.
Right.
I know,
I'm
right?
like,
All right.
But it's sometimes, for me, I mentioned, I tried to paraphrase what you were saying as comfortability. Sometimes you don't get out of, those prior relationships all at once or right away because of the comfort level that you have with that.
that could be another reason.
Yeah. Okay, I'm clear that it wasn't yours.
Right. Don't paraphrase.
But for me, it's definitely been comfortability. It's definitely
This
been.
is from your personal experience. Okay.
So, had you started? I'm asking your experience as a man. Have you? Now, I don't want you to give me somebody else's experience. I want yours. Have you started a relationship with someone knowing that you haven't gotten over another person?
Absolutely.
Because, and you tell me why you did that. Because I believe a whole lot of relationships are failing because of that. Because somebody is really, their heartstrings are somewhere else.
In its most recent instance, it was a situation where I was kind of not in a good place after my past relationship. So I was just kind of, open. I was a dry sponge. Any water was going to get to me. Any water.
Were you the one who ended the previous relationship, or did she?
Kind of both.
Okay. I think that makes a bit of a difference.
I was in a situation where I still had feelings for that person, and I think that she still had feelings for me. And I was just kind of, I don't know that I was looking for something, but I was open. And I kind of took the first thing that came along, and I should have,
Giving yourself time to heal,
absolutely.
which is like
So the first thing that came along.
really important.
It is. How long did that last?
Oh, up until last no. It went on for about 6 months. It was healthy for probably about 4 of those 6 months.
Of a new relationship.
Yes.
You're in the honeymoon phase.
And then what happened?
Yeah.
Did you know the whole time you hadn't gotten over the previous relationship?
No, it was just that when I had a chance to really sit back and look at it and examine it and, ask myself the tough questions. What is it that you really want? Are you willing to do the things that are necessary? And I couldn't answer those questions correctly.
I have a question. You have some people that do break up, and they do this clean chop. No communication. They found somebody immediately like you had. Everything is beautiful. You're in the honeymoon phase for 4 months, and 2 months thereafter, it goes south, right? You did all this self-evaluation and came up with this is not the one. Then they call Susie again. Hey, girl, I've been thinking about you. But they were clean break when they were with Jackie. You know what I'm saying? So, but then when that doesn't work out, they go to that old comfortable house shoe that I used to talk about, right? Slip on that slipper and say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? What do you have going on? So that's not really closing doors either. That's very selfish and it's self-serving and it's, probably only doing it
That's
because
just going
Susie
back to an ex.
still holds the torch.
That's just going back to an ex. If you haven't, like,
That's not closing that you broke up with Susie for a reason. Like, why not leave Susie in the past
but
and
I'm
move
saying
on to
closing
Jackie?
doors, like, a person who breaks up with you and then is still hanging on, texting, calling.
I get that.
All in your grill.
Yeah, we're talking about. I'm just saying that there are some people. That's how I started this off. There are some people that will cut it off, but as soon as it goes south with the new girl or the new guy, they'll go back to the ex.
Okay.
Which is not really closing doors. It's just a revolving door. You keep going back and in, in and out. So that's not cool either, because it's not really over.
Well, but if both people are, consenting and neither one of them have anything going on, because if he's broken up with Jackie.
But would you want your new guy?
But I thought you said they had broken up.
Listen to my question. I haven't finished it. Would you want your new guy to tell you, well, yeah, when I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, I called my girlfriend before her and we got back together. And then you're going to be thinking, well, as soon as something goes south with us, you're going to be calling her again. Because this is your pattern. This is what you do. Which means you can't ever feel comfortable with that's just like you and your ex-husband, a strictly platonic relationship. Because you keep going back to this revolving door. She's not just a friend, and you keep going back for whatever reason.
That were the
it's
case,
serving you.
And if I was dating that guy, and if at any point he told me, well, I was talking to Susie on the phone, and I would be like, wait a minute. Susie?
Your ex Susie? Right.
Home wrecker.
Yeah, so I would always have, a little discomfort with that relationship, because I would always think it's never going to be platonic.
It's never going to be over. Yes. Like you said, you have a friend who
they're thick.
has a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Susie could be one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, this person that I know, I think everybody he's dated, he just tries to hang on to.
Yeah.
And it's just more than anything, I should think it's just for ego.
But at the point in which you break up, you do need to make a break. You do need to say, you know what, that was in the past, it was fun, it was whatever it was, but it's time to do something different. And until you do that, you're never going to get, and you may get away with it. That's the problem a lot of times. People get away with stuff and they think that they actually have done something. But until you give somebody your all, until you're serious and...
What do you mean have done something? Done what?
A person can do it and get away. A person can be still, attached to that person, still dipping back and forth and get away with that. But until you give your all to a person, hey, I'm going to be in this. I'm going to not do that. I'm going to make a conscious decision. I'm going to have an adult conversation with somebody that I used to be in a relationship with and be like, hey, I'm done. We're done. It's done. I'm moving on, and really do that.
I mean, yeah, that would be wonderful if people actually broke up that way and it was all amicable. But typically, it's not. And like Kim has said, in your relationship, she wanted to know who broke up with who, because it has a lot to do with it.
It does.
Somebody is hurt and somebody is still holding on. Somebody didn't have time to process.
Somebody
wasn't ready
to
Absolutely.
end the relationship.
They haven't had that opportunity to wean themselves off of. Now, the mature thing to do would be like, hey, it's your prerogative. You're not into me anymore. Let me move on. Pick up my little hurt pieces and I'm going to glue them back together over there. You know what I mean? But I'm going to leave you alone.
But that's easier said than done.
For some people, and then some people can just...
And sometimes we have things that bind us.
Right.
Sometimes we share the same circle of friends. Sometimes we work together. Sometimes there are things that, that we have to share, and I won't use the word enjoy, but we have to share each other's company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We may go to the same church.
So you're saying it's easier to move on? You're less likely to move on when you're forced to see a person all the time?
I think it's easier to make a clean break when you don't
have to see
it.
Yeah,
well, that's true.
I certainly believe that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in those situations where we are bound through some entity or place or person or group of people, I think that that's the time that you really have to have the adult
Go
conversation.
down a little bit more.
I'm sorry.
Just for this TV. Sure.
Okay, got you. I think that those are the times that we absolutely have to have adult conversation and say, hey, I'm doing something different. I want you to do something different.
In those cases, you you really have to set boundaries though. If you have like the same employer or if you go to the same church, whatever, you take the same route on the bus to wherever you're going.
That would be miserable.
It would be miserable. You would have to set boundaries though. You know what I mean? We just can't talk. Hi, how you doing? And keep it moving.
One thing I do like though, I do love the slang for going back with an ex.
What is it?
Young people say, "Oh no, I don't spin the block. I don't spin the block."
Is that what
Spin
that
the
means?
block?
I've heard
Spin the block.
spin the block.
Spin the block.
And I didn't know what that meant. Is
I
that
never
what that
heard it
means?
before.
I love that slang. Yeah,
Okay.
you can't spin the block. You can't spin the
I
block.
didn't know that it meant going back to an ex.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad it's an actual thing because that means that the young people aren't going back through the revolving door. They're leaving it in the
Or
past.
they are.
Or at least they bought
They said
Tupperware.
they
They
can't,
can identify it.
spin
They
the
put
block.
it in the
No,
compartment.
he's saying that they can't. Some of them, that's the term. They'll spin the block.
Yeah, some of them will say.
Some of them
Some of them
will-
will tell you that
they do spin the
I'm
block.
spinning the block.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's not. I can't spin the block.
No,
it's just
it's-
spin the
it's
block.
spin the block.
But there's a segment of the population of young people that are like, nah, man, you can't spin them. You can't spin the block.
Right.
I mean, I think the old adage is gonna live forever. You broke up for a reason. You broke up for a reason. Something.
Right. I agree with that.
Something no longer was serving you in a capacity that it is valuable or healthy
Right.
for you, and for those reasons alone, warrants a clean break.
Right.
You know that's my
I read an
perspective.
article that said that sometimes in order to get a clean break, some people who, if you're still romanticizing a relationship, sometimes it's best go on back to that person because they'll show you why you broke up. And
You need to
that's-
be hurt a little bit more.
Sometimes you have to go. It said you
could
have
kick me
the
while I
whole
was
One
down.
more time.
that you have to go backwards to move forward, and I can see that.
It just kind of kicked me in the soul.
Hopefully they come out alive
Yeah.
and not too
I can see
jaded.
that. I can see that.
Because it
Because
kicked me in the soul.
when I start to romanticize and I talk to certain people and then they reveal themselves,
They
again,
quickly remake
I
you.
just go, oh yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah,
what it
there you
was.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's that dumb shit.
You're a jerk, right? You're a donkey, right?
Yeah.
It's easy, and I mean, I think that we can be honest to say that when you've been with someone, then it's easy. That person knows what buttons to push. It's easier for that person to creep in than it is for somebody else to set up and establish. Mm-hmm. But you have to be an adult and say, no, that wasn't fun the first time, and I can't see it getting any better.
You know, I knew someone who was dating someone who had a baby mama, baby daddy situation with a young kid. When I say young, I mean like 7, not a baby.
Right.
And that the mother would always like call the dad. They weren't together, but she would always be like super needy. And I need to do this, and I need for you to do that, and the baby needs this, and it would just be like incessant phone calls about this child who was 7. Like she acted like the kid was in Pampers and
Right.
still on the breast,
Like
but
she had quadruplets.
Octomom.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, it was simply she wouldn't let go, and because this man really did care about his child, he was just like, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. But the new girl in the relationship was like, this is too much. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there are people who don't set the boundaries that I was telling you and allow themselves to be manipulated by somebody because of this heartstring, you know what I mean, and or situation, that they can't move on, or you
Right.
run everybody away with all this extra drama.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see that too.
And it's a shame when you have somebody, in that case the father, that's willing to do the things that are necessary, and you have somebody else, the being an ex-girlfriend, exploiting that situation. I mean,
To
because
the max.
how many times do we hear the story that, this parent is not doing what they're supposed to do, and you have somebody that's trying to do that, and you have somebody that's trying to take advantage of it also. That's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. Or just going out their way to make it difficult for you to
Yeah.
co-parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I close doors pretty well. I close doors.
I lock them. I do more than
I
close
mean,
them.
in the past, I haven't always locked. Sometimes I put tape on the door.
Yeah.
I just close it lightly.
I mean,
masking tape.
If there was
But-
a real reason, I guess, like somebody was really injured in this relationship, or someone was cheated on, those big reasons. But if there's like just a difference of thinking, or something that wasn't talked about effectively, a lot of breakups sometimes end in an argument. They're just gone in an argument. And so nobody has resolve, nobody has closure. And those kind of relationships, I think, probably have a chance of working themselves out if they sit down like
They
two
do.
normal
I totally
people,
agree with that.
adult people, mature people, and have this conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But again, as long as it's not something that is like relationship altering,
Yeah.
seal a door.
That has you blocking on social media.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you popped up on my TikTok, block.
Time's out.
You know I love that block button.
Yeah.
So, I am a fan of closing doors. I think that when you embark upon a new relationship, in order for the relationship to grow or to be healthy, if that's your interest, you really have to water it. And the only way to do that is to give that person a fair shot. Instead of
Heal yourself from the past relationship.
You should
because
absolutely
you can't give
heal
anybody a fair
yourself.
shot. Yeah.
Absolutely. You should, if you're still tied to another person, you shouldn't be dating other people.
Yeah.
As I get older, I'm growing more to that. I mean, I certainly in my youth was more of a serial block spinner.
Oh, you were?
Oh my God.
Okay.
So I mean, it was something that I've come to learn that that's not really the way to proceed. That's not really the way to have a healthy relationship. That's not, really the way to end a relationship.
Yeah.
And, for somebody that you allegedly cared about at some point in time.
So you were a serial block spinner while you were in a relationship with somebody else?
In some cases.
Okay.
And in some cases, man, you sit down, put a few drinks in me, and I'm feeling nostalgic all of a sudden. And I'm calling and we putting the family back together. So
For the night.
For the week. I mean, I'm not a night guy.
Oh my gosh.
But, I mean, I'm learning as I get older that that's not really healthy behavior. And
Not at all.
And just because I broke up with a person, there were people that were very significant in my life that I still need them as friends. And when you behave and you dip, you spin the block, that's not a relationship that you can generally have a friendship out of.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a third one.
Mm-hmm.
A third
Scenario?
reason.
Oh, reason?
Not a third reason, not a scenario, but a third reason. I think that a lot of times people don't close doors because that injured person wants to still keep you close for their revenge plot. I want to keep you close enough so that you can see me win. You can see me living my best life, and you can see what you messed up on and what you don't have anymore. Look at you smiling.
I can see that.
You can see that. What do you think, Gary?
I can see that.
I mean, at this point in this stage of my development, when it's time for you to go, I don't need to do that to you. I
didn't say you. I said, what do you think? He's taking it all
Right.
personal.
I'm questioning, like, man, have I ever done that? Am I guilty here? So, I mean,
Take you out of it and just look at the thing.
I can definitely see a scenario where someone other than me
There we go.
could actually want to keep a person around to show them the good part. And I mean, I guess if I'm honest, if I put myself back into it, I've done it, man. I broke up with somebody and went and bought a car, or went and did something, got a gym membership, whatever it was. So I've done those things.
Okay, so I'll just say it. Yes, I have done it. I stayed in contact with someone just to let that person know you'll never get it again. And I was dead ass. You will never get it again. And I
Never gonna get it.
never.
Never gonna.
Which
And I
explains
stuck
that
to it.
smile.
And I stuck to it. I don't care the begging. I don't care the I'm sorry's. You will never, not ever, get a whiff again. Never. So yeah. That's where she's getting that from. So it wasn't you. She was talking about me. She was just saying. And it wasn't. It's
He
not
was
so
all
much.
offended.
I know. It wasn't so much revenge. It was just, I am very particular about who I let in my life, and I keep my circle real tight. I'm not really out. I think I'm visible, but I'm not out, and I am very particular about what I let in me, who is around me, who is in me. I am that person. So if I let you in and you fuck up magnanimously, oh yeah, you won't get
Yeah.
that again.
We're out of time.
No.
But yeah. So I think we pretty much established that people don't close doors because they're still in love or there's some sort of feeling. People go back and forth because they're comfortable. It was a level of comfortability. I feel like people don't close doors because they're operating out of a space of fear and uncertainty about what's really out there. And, is it going to fulfill them? And people haven't healed, which is the reason probably most people keep going back and forth.
So we're going to have more conversations on the 20th at 11 a.m.
Person.
In person.
thought it
Yes,
was 12.
thank you. Huh?
I thought it was 12.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, 12. We did change the time to 12 o'clock.
12
Thank
to?
you.
Right.
I
Right,
needed
right,
that
right.
cross check. 12 o'clock, 12 to 3. And the location is to be announced. So
The flyer will be out this week, so you guys will have all the information, but it is going to be phenomenal. We have something very, very special planned for you. You don't want to miss this. Don't want to miss this. Look at that. The thumbs up came up. I guess they can see that too. That was cool. Anyway, we cannot wait until the 20th. We cannot wait to see you.
Yes. So thanks for tuning in
Like, share, subscribe. Comment.
on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
It's Conversations Overheard. Keep the conversations going. Let us know the comments. Let us know what you're thinking.
Did we miss something? One of your...
Are we tripping about closing doors? Do you guys close doors?
Why don't you all close
When it's
doors?
over, do
We
y'all
got any
close
block
doors?
spinners out there? Anybody spinning the block?
All right,
Anybody
let
busy?
us know what you're thinking.
We appreciate
All right?
you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Have
Bye.
a great night.
Love you.
To the moon and back. The right corner, babe. Yep.
The arrow.
In.